Bad news. More bad news. We now have death. Well, duh, people die. I get it. I understand. God demonstrates this by committing the very first animal sacrifice in Genesis 3:21. Unto Adam also and unto his wife did the Lord God make clothes of skins and clothed them. The clothing from the sacrifice replaced their attempt to cover themselves. They went from being covered in God's glory light, fig leaves, and then the skins. Now, while they did invent the textile industry, fig leaves were a horrible substitution for the glory light. Here, though, in the Lord's infinite mercy, he covered them with a type and shadow of the Messiah which was to come. According to Wilmington, here we have the first example of that great biblical doctrine, the innocent dying for the guilty. Listen, we're often desensitized. Okay? We're desensitized to violence in our culture. We see it all the time. Our TVs, our movies, but the first parents had to watch the first death and know it was their fault. Can you imagine how horrified they were? They'd never seen death before. And to know that every death that would ever happen is on their shoulders. Sin brought death. Romans 5:12, wherefore as by one man sin entered the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. It was not in the Lord's original plan. Now, a skeptic once asked, well then, what would people do when new kids were born? People would just be piled on top of each other. It would never stop. No. The command to replenish, meaning to fill, requires a stopping point. Anyway, man sinned by disobeying God, and now people die. That's the point.